everybody, I'm Brad.
And I'm Krista.
And we're about ready to get our homestead on. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now just wait. Before you say, I don't watch your videos because I'm not a homesteader, I watch them for cooking or whatever, there will be organizational skills that you can use in day-to-day living. 10 easy steps. No, I don't know. No, we're going to talk today about our animals. But in all honesty, there are organizational tips and tricks you can take away with other aspects of your life. But we are in a situation where we're kind of in a pickle. We live on 1 acre, and we've got lots and lots and lots of critters.
Lots of critters. And we have outgrown our space that our critters live in.
Yeah, and the thing is this, is that we try to produce as much food as we can for our family without going to the store, as much as we can.
As much as possible.
But there's a balance. You can't overload your area with too many critters. That would not be very nice and humane.
No.
No, and we don't do that. We don't roll that way. No. 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 This is the book.
And this is the list.
This is for the garden.
And this is for the animals.
Yep. So here we go. Let's start with the garden because it's easier, even though we're really mainly talking about critters.
Right.
But Mama just prints out a calendar. Just like that.
Yep.
And she'll mark on that what?
Well, I'll mark on here, okay, what plants, stop that we need to either get...
Seeds.
Stop.
Get them germinated.
I got to get the seeds started in the house or put seeds in the ground outside. This Clyde's chart
is awesome.
Super, super awesome. You can set it to whatever your, well, okay, this is the fall side and there's a spring side here.
Ooh, do tell.
So when your average last frost is, you can set it. Ours is April 5th through the 13th. Then you can look at the plant that you want to put in the ground, and it will tell you the best time to seed it inside or put the seeds directly in the ground. And then best harvest times. And then for fall, it's the same thing. You put up your last frost date, and it gives you the exact same thing.
But additionally, this is an invaluable tool. However, this is where the magic happens.
Right. So this is where you keep track of what plants you want to put in the ground. When you put them in the ground, I put it in a different color. If we put that plant in the ground, I'll use pencil for when it goes in the ground, pencil for what we want in the ground, and then red ink. I don't think I have it on that one right now. Red ink for when I did put it in the ground.
And we also take notes on what worked, what didn't work, what we did with the soil so that we can make it better every year, and
I draw a map.
And that way you can rotate out your crops.
Yep.
You're not supposed to put the same stuff in the same spot all the time.
Right. And I keep these. Year to year, I keep them. I have a tab here for current garden, and then I have one for past gardens. So this year, I'll put this 2016 garden in the book, in the next tab, and then start again for next year.
So if you wanted to apply this to, say, kitchen skills, you could, make a map.
You could do this with your recipes and have a bread recipe
No, the
tab.
pantry, baby, the pantry. They can make a map.
Actually, for canning, you can have a canning inventory
That's pretty
sheet.
funny.
Yeah. Linda's pantry has a great one.
She does. All right, moving on to critters, because the plants, that's really it. You just take copious notes,
right.
Mark down what went where, and how it did.
Right. Now, also in this book, this is not just for our garden, this is for our animals as well. I have a tab for our rabbits because for me, it's very important to keep track of mamas and papas, and who bred with who, when, and how many kits they had. So right now, one of our does is not the last few times. We've bred her probably 10 or 12 times. The last 3 or 4 times, she has not done very well.
So we're not going to use her as a mama.
We're not going to use her as a mama anymore. We're going to, let's just say,
Well, actually, they're going to be rehomed.
Yes, we are going to rehome them.
Normally, we would be selling them for meat or processing them ourselves.
But she's a very
super sweet
mama, and I don't want to put her in freezer camp. She would make a great pet.
Yes.
So, and she's very young. She's only 2 years old. So she has a long life ahead of her. So I keep track of what rabbit it is. I do give our breeders names, and then the date of birth and who their mama and papa is.
And one thing I would like to add that I'm actually thinking about right now that we don't do, that should go in this book, is the amount of feed we're using. We can go back and figure it out from your checking account. You can obviously do that. But to know how much you're actually putting in, because there's a risk reward, there's a cost versus outcome on everything you do, and it may make no sense to raise a certain animal if it's costing you more in the feed.
I do know right now we have 13 rabbits. We have 5 that we keep in a rabbit tractor, and then the other 8 are in individual cages that we keep separated. No, I take that back. We have more than that.
There's some babies still.
We have 15 rabbits.
There's still some babies.
There's still some babies. I forgot about those. So we go through a 50-pound bag of feed every month, and that's about $14. So,
but we save money on the rabbits that are in the tractor because we move it around.
We move them around,
and they get all the goodies from the ground.
Right. So it's about $1 per rabbit per month to feed them, which is not. I think that's pretty reasonable.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
And you can get rabbits to maturity real fast.
Yep.
And actually, for those of you out there who are more preparedness-minded folks, what we are actually going to be doing, because we don't consume a lot of rabbit.
No.
So, but we want to have access to rabbits if there were some kind of crisis and we needed to survive on whatever we produce here. We're going to make sure that we have enough breeders and enough bucks to feed our family.
Yeah.
So
we're going to keep 3 mating pairs.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, let's talk about chickens.
All right, chickens. I don't have a tab for chickens, which I probably should.
You should.
I should.
You should. But what we have done is we've gone through, and the reason why our chickens are in such disarray is because we have moved. How many times? 4 times?
4 times in the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. And with animals. And so sometimes it would get to the point where we would have to move, and it's like, okay, process the birds, let's get them into freezer camp.
Right.
Or we had older ones, or give these away.
Right, right.
And
so we started, when we moved to this house, we started fresh. And over the last 2.5 years, we have got several different age levels of chickens, and so we have a chicken tractor that has 16 birds in it currently, 10 of which are roosters, and they are this weekend going to freezer camp. And 6 of those are hens, and those will be incorporated with our other flock. And then some of our older birds in the other flock, in the larger flock, those are also going to go to freezer camp. We have 8 of those chickens that are going to be going, and actually 10, sorry. So we've got 20 birds that we're processing next week.
But the issue is we are having, a lot of our birds are older. And so they're not giving eggs as much anymore. And one of the facts about being on a homestead or a farm is if you don't really have a use, they gotta go.
If they're freeloaders.
Yeah, I mean, because
gotta go.
I mean, every animal has to have a use. I mean, if your dog is a watchdog or it's a pet, that's a use.
Right.
But when they just eat, then there's nothing.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay. And I'm not going to pay a feed for an animal that isn't going to give us return.
But we just ordered some more the red comet birds.
Golden comet.
Golden comets.
We ordered 25 golden comet chickens and 3 roosters. I should say golden comet hens and 3 roosters.
So be looking for cute chick videos soon.
They're going to be coming here tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, I got to go get them.
Go pick them up tomorrow. So we've got to get that set up outside.
Yes.
Quickly.
But
anyhow,
the point is this. We need to get our organization of the garden and the rabbits the same way with our chickens. And actually, she does very well with the goats.
Yep, the goats I keep track of too, very similar to our rabbits. I have our does.
Medical records.
I do keep medical records on, you know, if they need shots, things like that. If I've sold that animal, then I mark that I sold it and when and to whom I sold it to. And their lineage, who they came from. If they are, like Zeus came from Ruby and another buck that I don't know, but now Zeus,
we believe he has
sure
sired a few goats.
Successfully bred.
Sealed the deal.
Petunia, definitely, and I believe Sweet Pea as well.
Yeah.
So we keep track of those dates as well. So that way I don't have a surprise goat laying on the ground, you know.
Whoops, there's a baby.
Yeah, and then if it happens in the middle of the night, you know, sometimes that baby could die. So it's something
and you don't
pay attention
to. If you don't keep, well, let me back up. If you keep your animals all in the same pen area wherever, you may not be able to track if they are pregnant, but if you can keep them separated, that's a lot better where you can control that.
Right.
But for us, we want to try to manage when the babies are coming. So springtime for us is a lot better than the dead of winter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
anyhow, I keep track of who is who and who they came from, and then any invoices from vet clinics or anything like that. We keep this all in here. That way it's just in one place.
And it stays in the master book.
Yep.
The master Bible book. So that's really kind of it for today. We just wanted to share what we're doing. And obviously we can do better with the chickens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be challenging, but
we're getting ready to hit a reset.
Yeah, exactly. We're also getting ready to open up our chicken yard to the entire goat yard. Yep. And we'll just fence in along the back and along the bottom of the new fence that we built.
They won't be fully free range, but they will be, I guess you could say, because it's pretty big. It's about 1/4 of an acre. Maybe a little more.
I think we're at a third.
A third of an acre? Yeah.
I divided our yard up into thirds.
Yeah. So anyway, there it is. Just wanted to share that with you. And, well, don't forget to like and subscribe to videos because it really does help our family out. So, peace.
See ya.